All right, buckle up because this deep dive is taking us straight to the heart of Tamil cinema with Vettaiyan.
We're talking Rajinikanth, Amitabh Bachchan, Fahadh Faasil. Talk about a star-studded cast, right?
Huge names, even for someone who doesn't follow a ton of Tamil films, I'd imagine.
For sure. And you know what caught my eye in the reviews you sent?
What's that?
This whole thing with Rajinikanth playing an encounter specialist. Sounds intense.
Oh, it is. It's a term loaded with baggage, you could say, especially in India.
Baggage, how so?
Well, encounter specialists, it often describes, those officers, police officers known for, well, let's just say a more direct approach to fighting crime.
Direct, right.
These encounter killings, as they're often called, they've been a point of major debate in India for decades now. And Vettaiyan seems to be wading right into that controversy.
Okay, I'm seeing that in some of these reviews too, yeah.
Yeah.
Some are calling it a straight-up thriller, praising the suspense, the action,
Right.
But then you've got others calling it a powerful social drama, like really digging into this whole encounter-killing issue.
Exactly. And that's what makes Vettaiyan so interesting. Tries to be both, which is a tough line to walk.
You've got Rajinikanth, the man's a legend,
Right?
known for these larger-than-life action roles. And then you've got this director, TJ Gnanavel, who's known for tackling some seriously heavy social issues head-on.
Right. He's not one to shy away from the tough stuff. You mentioned his film Jai Bhim that dealt with police brutality very directly.
Exactly. And it seems like he's bringing that same energy to Vettaiyan, but this time, instead of shying away from the whole superstar thing, he's using it, like using Rajinikanth's star power to actually bring more attention to these issues.
Interesting.
Oh, and speaking of attention, one review called out this scene where the media basically whips up public outrage against the main character, S.B. Vettaiyan, before the truth even comes out.
So that plays into one of the film's key themes then, this whole idea of mob mentality, right? How easily public opinion can be swayed, especially in these high-pressure situations. It makes you think about how much our own views are shaped by what we see, what we read.
Totally. You start to question everything. And it's not just the media either. Vettaiyan digs into the education system too.
I was going to say one review called it an interesting exploration of that, but tell me more. What's so interesting about it?
Right. Give us the details.
Yeah, because it sounds like the film's not just using it as a setting, like a backdrop. It's suggesting there are flaws within the system itself that might actually be contributing to some of the social unrest we see playing out.
Okay, so we've got a web here. Encounter killings, media influence, the education system, and Rajinikanth smack dab in the middle of it all. So how's Gnanavel handling this balancing act, according to the reviews? I mean, does the star power overshadow the message?
That seems to be the question, and the reviews are all over the map. Some folks praised Gnanavel for, reining in some of those typical superstar elements, to let the story breathe a little.
Makes sense. But others weren't so convinced.
Right. Some felt like the action, while entertaining, it felt a bit out of place, given, the film's serious themes, like they were trying to please two completely different audiences.
Which, speaking of different audiences, let's talk about this S.P. Vettaiyan character.
Yeah.
He's described as this swaggering encounter specialist, which, let's be real, that's classic Rajinikanth.
Oh, yeah.
He's checking all the boxes for, the ultimate cop hero we've seen a million times.
Right.
But here's where it gets interesting. He's forced to confront the killing of an innocent man.
Oh, wow.
And that moral struggle, that's what seems to set Vettaiyan apart from your typical action flick. So we've got a morally conflicted hero, a director known for tackling tough social issues, and a whole lot of buzz. What else are these reviews telling us about Vettaiyan?
Okay. So digging into these reviews a bit more, it looks like Vettaiyan doesn't shy away from tackling class bias either, especially within law enforcement.
So it's not just about whether these encounters are justified. It's about how those societal biases might come into play even before a shot is fired.
Exactly. One review even highlighted a scene where the police response to a crime is totally different, completely different, depending on the socioeconomic status of everyone involved,
Wow.
It's like the film is saying, hey, justice, it isn't always blind. And that's a powerful statement, right?
Yeah, that adds a whole other layer to this whole thing with encounter killings. So we've got these really meaty, really complex themes being explored, but some reviewers still seem hung up on the whole Rajinikanth factor, you know?
Oh, I can see that.
Like, they can't shake this feeling that it's a Rajinikanth film first and a commentary, like a social commentary second.
Well, I mean, you can't deny it, right? The man's a legend, larger than life, especially in Indian cinema. I mean, come on, the guy can stop bullets with his mustache. So you know audiences are going to come in with expectations.
Right.
It's Rajinikanth.
It's like there should be a disclaimer before the film, you know? Warning, may contain excessive awesomeness.
Right.
Something like that.
So that's the tightrope this director's walking, right? How do you reconcile that Rajinikanth persona that's built on decades of these really high-octane action films with a story that is trying to be nuanced, right? Trying to be thought-provoking.
Yeah, and I see a few reviews wishing that this film had gone with, like, a smaller star, you know? Someone whose mere presence wouldn't tip the scales from thought-provoking drama to, like, full-blown action extravaganza. But then, would that even work?
That's the question.
Would a smaller star have the same impact? I mean, would these issues reach as many people?
It's an interesting what-if, isn't it? Imagine the same film, same script, same director, but just a lesser-known actor. Would it hit differently? Would the message, would the commentary land harder if it wasn't, you know, competing with the whole Rajinikanth aura?
Or would it just be lost in the noise? You know? Would it never even reach the audience that it seems poised to capture with him in the lead?
Right.
It's like we're back to that question of, can a film be entertaining and make you think?
And can a film with a megastar like Rajinikanth ever really escape the shadow of that, you know?
Totally.
The superstar system.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is.
So if you stripped away all the glitz, right, the glamour, the action, even Rajinikanth himself, with this film, would it still hold up?
It's the question, right?
Yeah.
And I think the fact that reviewers are asking it, that says something, right? It means something resonated, you know? That even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, Gnanavel, he touched on something significant.
It's like he's trying to redefine what we expect from these big Tamil films, maybe from Indian action films in general.
Pushing boundaries, sparking debate, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
Love it or hate it, you're talking about this film, and I think that's something special.
For sure. And judging from the stack of reviews you sent in, it definitely sounds like it. So what's the verdict? Is it a cinematic masterpiece or a missed opportunity? What are we thinking?
I don't know if we have a simple answer for that, you know? It sounds like Vettaiyan is a film with layers, contradictions even, definitely enough to get people thinking and talking.
For sure.
And that's the beauty of it, right? We have a film that is clearly trying to be both things, a crowd-pleasing action flick, but also this commentary on some seriously important stuff. And whether it nails it completely, it almost doesn't matter.
Almost. Come on, you can't leave me hanging.
Okay. What I mean is, even if Vettaiyan doesn't totally stick the landing, it's still getting these conversations started. And that's something we need more of, right? Films that challenge you, make you think, even make you a little uncomfortable at times.
Right. Because isn't that what it's all about? Getting people to react, you know, one way or another.
Exactly. And based on these reviews, no one's walking away feeling indifferent. People have strong feelings about this one, good and bad. And honestly, that just shows how ambitious Gnanavel is as a director. He's not just trying to entertain. He's trying to get us to, like, really confront some hard truths about the world, about the society we live in.
So for our listener out there, the one who sent in this stack of reviews, clearly grappling with Vettaiyan here, what's the takeaway for them?
I would say go in with an open mind. Expect those contradictions. Expect moments where it's like the action hero bumps up against the social message and it's jarring. Don't shy away from the tough questions, even if there are no easy answers.
Don't let the Rajinikanth mustache distract you from the real issues.
Exactly. Right? Look beyond all that. Pay attention to how Gnanavel is using all the tools he has, you know, the action, the drama, even Rajinikanth's star power to pull you into these really complicated issues. Because at the end of the day, Vettaiyan is more than just a movie. It's a conversation starter.
Love that. And like any good conversation, you might walk away with even more questions than you started with.
Right. But those questions, that's where things get interesting. So go check out Vettaiyan, form your own opinion, and then let's keep talking about it, you know? Keep the conversation going.
Love it. We will be here, ready to unpack the next stack of reviews you send our way. But until then, keep those deep dives going.